to do another bench video, so I think the best way to go about doing this, because we've already done a bunch of instructional videos, which we'll link in this article as well, is I'm going to take Josh through and I'm going to teach him how to bench press the same way I would anybody if they were in a seminar. I've never seen him bench press before, so I have no idea what kind of disaster I'm going to walk into, or if it's going to be perfect. You never know. It's how it was at the seminar. But over 12 years or whatever it's been of doing seminars, and probably 20 years of showing people how to bench, I have picked up on some things and some exercises that I use before I put somebody on the bench, just so they understand the verbal cueing that I'm speaking about. So if I tell them to pull their shoulder blades together or arch or put the weight on their traps or drive with their heels, we're coming from the same page. Because a lot of times with when you're showing somebody how to bench, or a coach is showing somebody how to bench, you assume they know what you're talking about, but they really don't. The other thing that I do as I'm working with somebody on the bench, or any movement in particular, is I'm going to try to figure out if they're a visual learner or if they're an audible learner. In other words, do they have to see it done or do they have to do it? Because that does influence how you're going to cue the person through the lift. For instance, you'll say, do this, or see yourself doing this, and so forth. So you may see me change the way my dialogue is throughout the process based upon how he's responding. So the first thing I want to have him do is I want to teach him what it means to pull his shoulder blades together. Pull your shoulder blades together. So to do that, just take the band here. Now all I want you to do is to pull it and hold it together, or not hold it apart. Yeah, not that far. Keep your elbow slightly bent. Turn around here. Now pull, so you're pulling, squeeze my fingers together. There. Now hold that there. You feel the tension here? Okay, let it come back in. Pull that again. When I tell you to pull your shoulder blades together, that's the action I want, okay? See the difference? He went from shrugging here, where the other one he was pulling the shoulder blades together. So do it again. Pull the shoulder blades together. There's a big difference between the two. Okay, again. Again, okay, now drop your arms a little bit to where it would be a bench. Right there, same thing. Pull your shoulder blades together, pull it out further. Good, and out. Again. Okay, now drop your hands a little bit lower. You'll never be this low because you'll probably not be using a shirt. Okay, now same thing, just the shoulder blades. There you go. Big difference here between what he was doing with the shrug. Okay. And I'll keep the band around in case we need to do it. Demo videos that you've seen with the bench press, or you've read in the past, we speak about pulling the bar out of the rack. Well, a lot of times people don't quite understand what that means. So we're going to go over to the cable machine here, and I'm going to show him an exercise to help illustrate what I'm talking about. What I'm going to have him do, and this is a short cable. Typically I'd want to use a little bit higher cable, so I'm going to have him squat down a little bit so he's going to look a little bit like an idiot. You want to have the bar start about where it would be if you were to take the bar out of the rack. And from here, I'm using what's called a rotator bar here. More than likely you won't have one, but I can tell you where to get one. I like that because it angles up on each end, so it's easier to be able to feel the lats pull. So all I'm going to have him do is just basically a straight arm pull down from here to here. But with that, focus on making sure he's pulling with his lats. So you're going to actually bend your knees a little bit. Go a little bit wider so you're up on the hump. You can try to use a lat bar flipped backwards, but you got to watch it because most have a swivel on it. Okay, arch your back. Now all I want you to do is to flex from here and pull down. Good. And squeeze your lats. Bring it back. And then pull here. Squeeze your lats. He's doing real good with this, okay? Many times I'll have somebody do this. The tension's going to be here, or it's going to be in the lower back. When I say pull the bar out of the rack, or with your lats, go, that's what I want to look for. I want to feel, and I want him to feel, this is what needs to be contracting when he pulls it out, not a tricep extension. Now we're going to go back over to the bench.